What's up, everyone? So today I'm here to share with you my October TBR. Now, it's a mixture of books that I definitely want to read for Blackoween that I definitely need to get to. There's going to be some books that I should have read by now, but I just haven't. So yeah, so I have a few books in here. Well, more than a few that I'll be reading for October. So the first book that I'm going to be reading this month, because we'll have a live discussion on it, on this particular book next month, and that is The Gods Below. This is by Andrea Stewart. I really love her book so much. I love the Drowning Empire series so much. It was really good. Was it confusing at times? Oh yes, it definitely was. But at the end of the day, I found the series to be very good. And the pacing was, I think as the first book went by, the second book and the third book, the pacing was on point. So I'm really looking forward to this particular book. And then the next book that I plan on reading and definitely have to do a review for, because I did a review for the first book. And so I'm going to be reading Drown Me with Dreams. This is by Gabby Burton. Love this book so much because it has sirens in it. So I mean, what else do I need to say? Like, it has black sirens. So I'm definitely looking forward to reading this one this month. The next book, which is one of the group reads for Blackoween, which the creator is, Bree from the Lockbooktician. So I'm going to be reading The Reformatory by Tananarive Due. Love Tananarive Due. So I'm really looking forward to this one. I heard this is very deep. So I'm trying to prepare myself mentally for this book, but I'm really excited to get into this one. So I'm going to be reading this. The next book, this is pretty much 3 books in one, and I'm really looking forward to reading this finally. I had missed the boat on multiple occasions, and it's my time to, hurry, catch the boat, like as of right now, and be on time. So I'm going to be reading the Inheritance Trilogy by N.K. Jemisin. I know you're thinking like, girl, you haven't read these books yet. I'm like, I have not. So this is my month to officially say I've read the Inheritance Trilogy. So I'm going to also be reading this chunker for this month as well. The next book, I keep hearing nothing. I keep hearing things about this particular book. And so I hear pros and cons. I hear mixed things about it. So it's like, okay. It talks about gods and it has Hades in it. So I'm like, okay, I definitely need to read this. I definitely need to pick it up and see what's up with this book. And so I'm going to be reading The Games Gods Play by Abigail Owens. And of course, this is pretty, and I think the in pages is like phenomenal as well. But this is a book regarding about Hades and whatnot. It says, the gods love to play with us mere mortals, and every 100 years we let them. And then it goes on to say, I have never been favored by the gods, far from it, thanks to Zeus. Living as a cursed office clerk for the Order of Thieves, I just keep my head down and hope the capricious beings who rule from Olympus won't notice me. Not an easy feat, given San Francisco is Zeus's patron city, but I make do. I survive until the night I tangle with a different god. The worst god, Hades. For the first time ever, the ruthless, mercurial king of the underworld has entered the crucible, the deadly contest the gods hold to determine a new ruler to sit on the throne of Olympus. But instead of fighting their own battles, the gods name mortals to compete in their stead. So why in the underworld did Hades choose me, a sarcastic nobody with a curse on her shoulders, as his champion? And why does my heart trip every time he says I'm his? I don't know if I'm a pawn, bait, or something else entirely to this dangerously tempting god. How can I, when he has more secrets than stars in the sky? Because Hades is playing by his own rules and death will win at any cost. So this book, like I said, it sounds really good. It sort of gives me Lore by Alexander Bracken type of vibes, but I'm here for it. So I'm really looking forward to reading this one. The next book that I plan on reading, which I loved the first book, which was Alex Wise versus the End of the World. Love it. So I had to pick this up from my library because I saw that we got it. And so I just had to check it out. And so we have Alex Wise versus the Cosmic Shift. This is a middle grade. And anything by Terry J. Benton Walker, I'm going to read, which reminds me I need to read Blood Justice, which I think I need to add to my TBR. So not only am I going to be reading this, but I think I'm also going to be reading Blood Justice as well, which I literally just added to my TBR, mind you. But love Alex Wise versus The End of the World, and so I'm picking up the next middle grade that just came out last month, I believe. So we have this one, and of course we have Blood Justice, which is the sequel to Blood Debts that I'm going to be reading as well. Which also these fall into, for Blackoween, I feel like this falls into Ruby's crew as well. So there's that. The next book, which I feel like this book, I forget which location, but I know it fits into one of the locations for Blackoween. And so I read The Spite House by Johnny Compton, and I really enjoyed it. So I figured I would get this from my local library and read this next book, which sort of gives me vampire vibes, which I'm here for. And so we have Devils Kill Devils. And so for this one, it says, Sarita has been watched over by a guardian angel her entire life. She calls him Angelo and keeps him a secret, but some secrets won't stay hidden. When Angelo murders someone she loves, Sarita begins to see what horrors have really been lurking in the shadows surrounding her, and she will have to embrace the evil within if she hopes to make it out alive. And then it goes on to say, Johnny Compton, author of the Bram Stoker Award-nominated The Spite House, takes you on a terrifying race of one woman against the hordes of hell. So I'm like, I don't necessarily think it's vampire. It looks vampire-ish, but maybe that's a demon instead. But I'm here for it. I enjoyed The Spite House, so I feel like I will enjoy Devils Kill Devils. To be honest, now that I think about it, I don't know why I thought that this was like a vampire, right? When it literally says devils. So don't pay me no attention. But I'm really looking forward to reading this as well. The next book that I also plan on reading is The Immortal Dark by Tikis Gurma. Actually, I already started reading it, and it's intriguing. It's definitely a book that I feel like you have to pay attention, like, to every single detail in order to know what's going on. Because if you aren't paying attention, let's say if you're listening to the audio and you're not really like paying attention to every single detail, I feel like you're going to get confused and just like, what just happened? What? So just be mindful of that as well. But so far it's pretty freaking good. And then the next book, which I cannot wait to discuss this with my patrons. I'm really looking forward to hearing your thoughts on this final book in the Inding Fire trilogy, and that is The Inding Fire by Sarah Arafi. Loved the final strife, loved the battle drum, and I feel like I'm gonna love this even more, but I'm gonna be freaking sad when I finish this book because that means this trilogy is over. I'm like, no. But then again, like, she is an auto-buy author for me. Love Sarah. Like, love her writing. It's phenomenal. I don't have a problem with it. I enjoy it like wholeheartedly. So I'm really looking forward to reading this and discussing it with my patrons. So here is this one. The next book, now is it the final book? I don't know. There might be books I do add to my TBR probably later on in the month, but it depends on how I feel. To be honest, regardless, like these books that I'm sharing with you all today are going to be books I'm definitely going to be reading. And the next book I'm going to be reading is Fear the Flames. This is by Olivia Rose Darling. I haven't heard much about it, but it has dragons in it and it's a romantasy, which I don't mind romantasy here and there as long as it's worth the read and it's worth my time and it's not just complete trash. I won't have a problem with it. So I'm hoping that this book will be a win for me. But it is an exiled princess teams up with the last man she thought she could trust in the start of a dazzling and unforgettable epic fantasy romance series. So it says an immersive fantasy filled with a sizzling, reluctant allies to lovers romance, a world to get lost in, perilous quest, dragon bonds, and an entertaining band of characters to root for. It says Fear the Flames marks the stunning debut of Olivia Rose Darling, which was an indie author, and now she is traditionally published. So congratulations to Olivia. But I'm really excited to get into this, and it has dragon bonds, so why not? And then it also has this beautiful map with this beautiful dragon right here. So I'm looking forward to it. Anything with a map and it gives me an idea of what the world looks like, I'm here for. So I'm really excited to get into this as well. But those are all the books for the most part, that I plan on reading for this month of October. Like I said, there's a mixture of books I'm going to be reading for Blackoween that I shared with you, and there's probably going to be even more books. Like I think another book that I may add to it, which I'm trying to wait for my library to come in because I have it on hold. It says that I'm like the second person in queue, so I'm waiting, and that is this cursed house. That I'm also trying to wait for, because that also will be probably part of my October TBR as well. But I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm excited to see what you all plan on reading for October as well. But I hope you are staying healthy and staying safe, and I'll catch y'all next time. Bye everyone.